Well, the world is clearly facing a very serious challenge because climate change has been very serious at a level that is having an impact everywhere in the world. It's not merely increase in temperature, it's an increase in the intensity and frequency of extreme events like heat waves, extreme precipitation events. Sea level rise is a very serious threat for a large number of communities all over the world, including large countries and heavily populated countries like Bangladesh. In the year 2000, the total emissions of greenhouse gases was 39 gigatons of CO2 equivalent. By 2010, it has increased to 49 gigatons of CO2 equivalent, which means an increase of 1 gigaton each year. So this goes counter to the very objectives of the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change. So I would say the world has to be very concerned about the way we are dealing with climate change. The other point I want to make is that the impacts of climate change are also very unequal. Some of the countries which are the poorest have the poorest communities in the world are the most vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. So in some sense, it's very unfair. Climate change is a problem that cuts across social issues, political issues, technological issues, but I would say at the center of it is human action and human behavior. And since we live in democracies in many countries of the world, I think governments will only act if people demand something of them. And that demand from the people will come if people develop a value system that requires change, that requires society to move in a particular direction. I believe that you need to do a lot more than merely managing the traffic. This is a very short-term measure, which of course should be supported, which I think we should accept, but this should be the starting point of many bigger changes. I think the most important is to create awareness among the people, and that's why I would say Cinema Planeta is a very good medium by which you can inform the public and by which you can spread awareness about the seriousness of the environmental problems.